RSPCA Cymru officers are on hand 24 hours a day to help protect animals in need and to provide that response that's needed to deal with the 50,000 calls that come in every year. Last year, 10,000 animal welfare complaints were investigated and 8,000 animals had to be rescued by the inspectorate. Multi-agency working is vital. So many people go the extra mile to help. Without them, the officers simply couldn't do it alone. Over the past few years, work has been carried out in Swansea to tackle the city's equine crisis.
We've had issues with the horses and the welfare and the looking after of horses for many years in Swansea. It materialised over several years ago that we weren't being able to achieve what we wanted to do on the control of those horses and looking after their welfare on our own. Since we've taken on that partnership approach with the RSPCA and others, we've seen significant improvements. Our officers have developed relationships, which has been a challenge, with some of the owners, and we've been able to educate them about what is expected of responsible horse owners.
Education is key. North Wales Police visit schools with their LEAD scheme, which includes Celt, a robotic golden retriever, who teaches young children how to behave around dogs.
A large proportion of dog bite victims are young children, and these incidents occur in the family home with the family pet. So anything we can do to sort of reduce the number of children that are injured, then the better really. We go through a number of scenarios where perhaps a child shouldn't approach a dog, and then thereafter, as a reward for their interest, I introduce the dog, and then each one comes in turn and approaches the dog as they've been taught and interacts with the dog, and then they get a badge at the end. Every single dog can bite, if in the right circumstances. We need the children to understand that they can take positive steps to avoid possibly those circumstances.
Conwy Council prioritise animals with the humane management of goats on the Great Orme.
Well, here on the Great Orme, we've got a population of feral goats. The goats are not contained on the Great Orme, and they can make their way into nearby Llandudno, into neighbouring properties, gardens, make their way onto the streets. And there were certain welfare issues that were occurring on a regular basis. We've adopted a vaccine which is injected into a certain proportion of the nanny goats. The aim isn't to stop breeding of the herd completely. We want to maintain a herd of feral goats on the Great Orme, but we want to limit their numbers. The Great Orme goats are very popular, both with some local people and with visitors, and we feel that they're a part of a history of the Great Orme.
Housing associations also have a role to play in improving and delivering animal welfare.
What we've done is we've come up with fact sheets with regards to tenants who are thinking of keeping a pet, and another one with regards to responsible pet ownership as well. We've got the pets policy in place. Quite often we've not had cause to have to enforce the pets policy. We always try and work with our tenants to get them to reason with them really and see, the angle that we've got the policy in there for a reason, and the fact sheets as well.
RSPCA Cymru officers also work with firefighters to complete challenging animal rescues, using props like these to be ready to act in real-life situations.
As a service, we respond to most incidents where large animals or small animals are concerned, and we work closely with the RSPCA. We have training for everyone gets the level 1 training, the awareness for animal rescue, and also the level 2s then for the more specialist, the larger animals. There could be life risk as well. But certainly if there's a horse and the horse has fallen over and trapped the rider. So working with the RSPCA, working with the vets to sort of bring that to a satisfactory conclusion is the most important. And obviously working with those partnerships is key.
While places like Cardiff Dogs Home go the extra mile for the dogs in their care, ensuring stray dogs get the support they deserve.
We always strive to try and go above and beyond what's required as a local authority dogs home to meet the welfare needs of the dogs and try and provide additional environmental enrichment for them. So we've seen a reduction year on year on the number of strays that are actually coming into us, what we class as true strays. But what we're seeing is an increase in requests from members of the public who are struggling to look after their dogs for one reason or another. So we've amended our policies to try and accommodate those sort of people to avoid those dogs becoming strays out on the street. We've got our on-site neutering facility. All the staff are trained in microchipping also. So, we make sure that if dogs that come in are chipped with incorrect details, we make sure those are corrected before they're released. And likewise, dogs are neutered here before they're rehomed.
Conwy Council are cleaning up with their pioneering campaign, Keep It Clean, No Messing.
The campaign revolves around anti-dog fouling and littering, so it was just initially promoting the campaign, and also we visited problem areas around the county, which we call hotspots for dog fouling and littering. So we just started off doing that really, visiting those areas, speaking to people, handing out freebies, providing information.
We always start with education, and then if that doesn't work, we go on to enforcement. But some things that we give advice and raise awareness of
dog fouling, littering, keeping dog under control, stray dogs,
dangerous dogs, microchipping,
dogs in hot cars.
Yeah, dogs in hot cars. So the hot spots have gone down and the dog fouling complaints have gone down. The campaign's continuing, and we'll continue to educate people.
So teamwork is vital for animal welfare throughout Wales. Our diverse workload, whether it be complex investigations to challenging rescues, means that we get to work with many different organisations and public bodies like the police and fire service and local authorities throughout the country. To put it simply, without joint working, the rescued animals sadly wouldn't make it. It is that important. The partnership and multi-agency working is so important for us as inspectors and for our colleagues throughout the society, and education is also key in helping the public to understand the needs of an animal, and that we all have some responsibility towards all the animals in our society. Many agencies have a role in spreading best practice to the members of the public.
We need all these people and organisations you see in front of you, and many, many more, helping to keep animals safe across Wales. It really is together for animal welfare.